Wow, that guy's voice is just phenomenal. Seriously, his vocal ranges are no joke. It's basically life-changing. What a fucking cuck! The situation right here is all too familiar, especially for those who try to present their content with the world, and they're really proud of it, you know? Meow! Generally speaking, from what I've seen, people are pretty supportive about it. But in the midst of that whole crowd, there's one special snowflake. Oh wait, let me just look at every single detail about this person so I can find something to criticize. You know, just because I want to make that person feel bad somehow. Forget any of the good stuff, because my day sucked today. My intention for making this in the first place was for the content creators to not be discouraged by these type of comments. Or in this case, insults. Let's clear up a few obvious things. You're more likely to be insulted online than in real life because these people don't know you personally and assume they probably won't ever meet you face to face. There are no consequences because of that, and they know they'll get off easily by hiding behind that screen. If you were to be insulted seriously in real life, it would be because you've done something wrong in that person's eyes, even if you may not think so. But this is completely rich coming from me, right? I throw shade all the time. Hell, we all do it from time to time. But there's a thing called deliverance, you know? If you're purposely just saying these things to make someone feel bad, that's just shitty. Most of the time, when we do poke fun at people, we kind of let them know it's a joke and nothing really serious, so that they won't take it to heart. But if it's just an insult without context, people may just end up taking it the wrong way. I know there are a bunch of creators online that post videos, arts, stories, or whatever creation, and it's kind of inevitable, but they get hated on. And yeah, sometimes it gets to you. Well, I'm here to tell you now that there's no reason to be offended. Some people are just more immune to insults, and good for them. However, out of some of those people, I've heard a certain argument saying something along the lines of, since I'm not easily offendable, it's pretty much okay to say whatever the fuck I want to people. Racial slurs, vile slang, you name it. No. That's how you get an early death wish. For real though? Complete shit logic right there, you cunt. The world doesn't revolve around your ass, and that's some great friend repellent right there. Meanwhile, we also have some people who think it's okay to say whatever they want, as long as they add in, it's a joke. It's a joke, just a joke. Learn common sense. Know your boundaries. Like, it's pretty different if your best friend insults you compared to someone you don't know as well. Your best friend could be like, hey, I saw a piece of shit on the ground today, and it reminded me of you. Yeah? Well, that piece of shit probably gets more looks from people than your gremlin-looking ass, and everyone just finds that acceptable. But if it's someone you've met once, or never before, things just get awkward. Two wrongs don't make a right. Use your parents as an example. What? The only way you'll ever get laid is if you crawl up a chicken's ass and wait. Excuse me? You're so ugly. When your mom dropped you off at school, she got a fine for littering. You finished yet? You must have been born on a highway because that's where most accidents happen. Alright, that's it. Hold me back. There are people who purposely just do this to get on your nerves. Don't fall into it. That's the reaction they want. They want to see you get triggered and then laugh about it. Instead, you should do these following things. Firstly, you just ignore them. Isn't that the hardest thing to do though? You have the need to prove these people wrong and justify yourself. But you don't have to. Chances are, you try to have a civil talk with them, and they just get a hoot out of it. You don't have any reason to give those people attention when usually their comments are half-assed and took almost no thought into it. Just look at those people as crying babies that want your attention, and they won't stop until you give it to them. Don't give it to them. Don't give them that milk. Let them babies starve. Starve them. That was a horrible analogy. Secondly, you should joke back with them. It's weird, but these same people usually tend to respect you more if you come back at them with a joke, rather than being annoyed or telling them to stop. For instance, I usually have a lot of people telling me, wow, your voice sounds like you want to kill yourself. Or here's another one, you sound like a school shooter. And it's not something I could really change since that's the voice I was born with. You know what I'm saying? Alright, but just give me a second. I kind of want to dispute that school shooter comment, even though I said just to ignore it, but it's just ridiculous to me, but also kind of funny. How the hell do you know what a school shooter sounds like? Do you talk to them on a daily basis? Have you gotten that grasp of a stereotypical school shooter voice? I'm just a little bit concerned. Nah, I'm playing. I know you just said it like that to make me feel bad, but yeah, still a pretty messed up thing to say. So once again, you try to justify yourself to them, those same people will try again, unless you joke back at them, since their thought process will be like, oh, this person gets it, they know how to joke around. The second possible response would be, this is not not fun anymore. They're not reacting the way I want them to, and they just end up leaving you alone. That doesn't mean you should make a try-hard response. Otherwise, it makes you look bad. Do you guys remember this one comeback everyone used to use in like middle school? One kid would be like, "You're a bitch." And then that person would respond with, "Well, you call me a bitch, right?" So a bitch is like a female dog, and dogs bark. Bark comes from a tree. And tree is Mother Nature. And Mother Nature is beautiful. So you just called me beautiful. Thank you. How fucking pretentious. And then they just act like they wrecked you, flip their hair, and walk away. Just saying. I think that comeback was fucking retarded as hell. You didn't know anyone with that comeback. You just look fucking lame. It was just flat out cringe. If you're a really vengeful person like me, I just add you to my hit list. I mean, I'm just the type of person that likes to prove people wrong through my own actions. But I won't harm anyone, you know? I would never do that. Honestly though, these people did get to me a while ago, but feeling stressed about it won't do much for you. If you're a creator and people compare you to another creator, let them do that. You don't have to explain yourself. It's not what you mean to do. There are people willing to give you some nicely constructed feedback and criticism rather than just comments like "you suck." Better to actually just consider those and keep them in mind. They're just trying to help you out. You'll know the difference between a blatant hate comment versus actual constructive criticism. It's not meant to offend you, but it's to better yourself. Be unoffendable. Just remember that words don't have any meaning if you don't let it have any.